Hey Staten Island, this is HealthWish, a conversation about the state of healthcare in the fabulous 5th borough. Our aim is to raise issues, raise awareness, and raise health. Because when we raise health, we raise everyone.
Today I'll be speaking with Danny Calemine and Pete Van Alphen of Widows Sons Cornerstones of NYC, a division of Freemasons built on 3 basic principles: brotherly love, relief, and truth. Join me as I sit down with these gentlemen and hear how they're bringing relief to the Staten Island community through their fundraisers. I'm Jamie Lynn Homan, and this is HealthWish. Hi, Danny. Welcome. I'm so excited to be sitting down with you. The last time I saw you was actually in December 2021. You came to the hospital to present $15,000 with your group, Widows Sons, to our Pediatric Cancer Center. And the incredible thing about that was actually that it was raised entirely through COVID times. So dollar for dollar. Yeah, I'm sure that was not easy. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So you have worn many hats. You still do. You are a retired NYPD officer.
Detective, yes.
Yes, you are a member of the Masons, and
Correct.
Through that, you're also a member of Widows Sons and past president. So tell me, how did you get involved in Widows Sons and also become a Mason?
Okay, so about 12 years ago, I was always touched by a lot of work that the Shriners Hospital does with the kids and the Shriners in general. But in order to be a Shriner, you had to be a Mason first. So I joined the oldest fraternity in the world, which is Freemasonry, and I became a Shriner. But like within a year or so, 2 years within being a Mason, we started a chapter here in New York City of a Masonic riding association known as the Widows Sons. And we started off with 7 guys, and now we grew the chapter. That was going to be going on 10 years now that we started the chapter. And now we're here with you.
Yes, with me. And I think it's also interesting for everyone to know how Widows Sons was named. It's actually from a Masonic distress call, correct? That said, who would help the widow's son.
Yes.
And it really embodies, giving back to the community and helping others, which is exactly what you guys do. You started with toy drives, then you started raising money for various charities. I want to know what that pivotal moment was for you and your group that you decided we're going to commit $50,000 to the Pediatric Cancer Center at SIUH.
From the beginning, we've always been a charity. Do we love riding motorcycles and having a good time? Yes, but encompassed and the priority is the charity work that we do. So over the years, we've, made our trips out to Philly to the Shriners Hospital and presented them with checks, and we've been involved in St. Jude's work and a lot of veterans and a lot of 9/11 stuff, all great causes, right? Every Christmas we go to hospitals and we give toys out to the kids. It's a real motorcycle type thing to do, right? So 3 years ago, one of the stops we made was Staten Island Hospital, and gave out a couple of garbage bags full of toys to the kids, and new toys, by the way. Just because they were in garbage bags don't mean they were garbage. And John called to thank us, and I was the president at the time. And we came in, and I met you, and you told us what you guys got on the table at the time, which, 2019, you were saying you break ground in 2023 of a pediatric oncology center in Staten Island. You want to talk about pivotal is when a few of the doctors and yourself, they walked us through, and we walked through, and there was this little squirt, 7, 8 years old, and he was there getting his treatment, sitting in a lounge chair, sandwiched between like 2 senior citizens. And it was heartbreaking, just to see that. And you guys explained to us that this is going to be a separate center just for the children, themed to the kids, and it would make their journey a lot easier.
Definitely.
And we agreed with you.
And you had said before that we wanted a center for these kids where they didn't have to be treated next to adults. We wanted kids to be treated like kids, on their own in the center. And we're so glad that you came to see what our vision really is, especially because we have incredible doctors, clinicians, and they're doing such an amazing job. And yet people feel like they have to go to the city, which
Right.
is, not easy on a family.
First of all, it's horrid to have to deal with, God forbid, one of your children is sick, and you have to deal with that in itself. I can't imagine having to put the kid in the car, drive into Manhattan, battle the traffic in, battle the traffic out. The anxiety for that little squirt getting into the city, knowing what's going to happen, and then getting the treatment, and then battling traffic back and sitting in the car, if they're lucky to come home, right? Staten Island, people from Brooklyn and Staten Island, it's right over the bridge. They don't have to deal with that, and it'll make their lives just a little bit easier, and they deserve a lot more, but we could do this for them. So.
Absolutely, and you have a huge part in that. It's been just about 3 years that you guys started your philanthropic journey with us,
Yeah.
and you've raised over $35,000 already in that time. So congratulations. That's an incredible feat, especially because your organization started only about 10 years ago, your chapter.
Right.
And so you just jumped into helping your own community, and we just want to thank you so much for your support and your continued fundraising.
And we want to thank you on behalf of the Widows Sons Cornerstone Chapter here in New York. We want to thank you for letting us be part of it, and we're honored.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to sit down as well with Pete Van Alfen, the current president of Widows Sons Cornerstone NYC chapter, and we're going to hear more about the fundraising that the group is doing.
Thank you for having me, Jamie.
Hi, Pete. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Hi, Jamie.
Now, you are the current president of Widows Sons Cornerstones NYC. Can you tell me how you got involved in the group?
With the Widows Sons, well, you have to have a motorcycle in order to be involved with the Widows Sons portion of it. And a lot of the guys there, I'm very friendly with from being a Mason for 20 years. And just wound up, we're a lot of like-minded people in that group. And I wound up buying a motorcycle and joining the group. I had a motorcycle when I was younger, and it just seemed like the right time and the right thing to do.
And now you're leading the group. You do a lot of good
Yes.
for the community. And I want to know what made you really take on, this pediatric cancer project that kind of was passed on to you, I guess, as president. What makes you personally so connected to it?
Well, there's actually a lot of reasons. I'm a vendor at the hospital for probably on 20 to 25 years that I've been working there with Van Alfen brothers. And when you're working there, you get to see a lot of people going in and out. You start to, I actually seen a friend of mine, his mom was in the hospital. He came out, and I left my job to go up and visit with them. And, it was nice that I was able to do that. And when the kids get their cancer treatment, they go to other facilities, say off Staten Island, and they have to spend so much time away from home, and they can do it right here in their own backyard, and the chances of, say, being able to go home or see a friend, it just really meant something to us to really want to give back to our own community and our own backyards.
That's so great, and we're so grateful that you've decided to do that for us. And so you are a contractor by trade, as you mentioned, so you know how much goes into creating a new center, and every dollar that you and your group have raised is going directly toward making this happen.
Yes.
So.
And I was actually able to put the foundation in for the lab when they were moving everything around. And that was one of the things that kind of prompted us, giving back in our own backyard for the Pediatric Center. I was involved in it, and I really wanted to get involved in giving back. And Danny had headed that up, and I think it was you that took us in to see the room with all of this stuff in it for the kids. And it just felt right. It really felt like these kids would actually have a place to go and not feel so scared and alone. And it was welcoming. That's what I thought, and I think our whole group thought that. And we really put our effort into trying to give back.
You have a family history with masonry, so tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I do. My grandfather was raised in the Philippines in 1922 as a Mason. My dad and his two brothers were Masons. My brother was a Mason. I joined the fraternity about 20 years ago, and it was one of the best things I did. It's a lot of like-minded people. We do a lot of charity work. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and dedication to do this stuff. And And like we used to donate a lot of stuff to the Shriners Hospital, which I became a Shriner and was part of that. And then I joined the Widows Sons, which, you know, was also a big organization. And we did give a lot of money to the Shriner Hospital. And now we're focused, like I said, on the cancer center for the kids, which I think is one of the best things to give back, you know, in our own backyard.
You definitely do a lot of amazing things with your group. You have a lot of fundraisers. Tell me about your most recent fundraiser at Rab's Country Lanes.
It was very successful, and you know, these are some of the things that we do, and we have a lot of fun doing it. It takes a lot of planning, and we do a lot of that stuff in my garage, and we have a lot of laughs and stuff doing this. That's part of what we do, is to try to, you know, have fun doing this stuff.
Well, I have to tell you, with all of the events that you do, the raffles, things like that, when you hear the roar of motorcycles coming in at the kickoff of the event, that's definitely a great way to start off with a bang. It's definitely energizing to see all of you guys together. And I think also one of the most amazing things about what you guys do is that everything is within the community and everything is inclusive. So if anyone wants to join and participate, they're able to do that. And can you tell everybody how they can find out about the events and the raffles you're doing?
We do have some stuff like, you know, on Facebook and Instagram that we post, and online, things like that we do share those stuff with. I mean, we put flyers out. We're trying to get stuff put out on the hospital website if possible, right? So those are some places that you could look to find where the events are. And we do love coming to those events with the motorcycles and stuff. You know, we have a big presence, and that alone is, you know, eye-catching for people to see us pull up to the event with all of that noise going on. And people are interested in that. You know, they see a bunch of guys get off with tattoos, and we're just hardworking people. Most of us, you know, give you the shirt off our back.
Absolutely. I think that's just such a wonderful thing. Can't judge a book by its cover. You guys are some of the nicest people we've ever met, and we thank you so much for everything you're doing, not just for us, but for the community as a whole. So thank you for joining me and for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me on.
HealthWish wishes to thank our special guests, Danny Calemine and Pete Van Alfen of Widows Sons Cornerstones NYC. Find them on Facebook at Widows Sons NYC. Thanks for watching HealthWish. We hope to see you again soon.